Hey, what's happening YouTube, Facebook? I'm up kind of late tonight. Not late really, but late for me. Couldn't sleep. I've been on here on a couple of occasions talking about He Cares in our summer programming. And speaking about how I needed funding for the summer program. And actually we kind of go around, we cut a certain number of seniors' yards free of charge, but we kind of stipend the kids that do it. Basically, we take what they call at-risk kids, and we kind of teach them some light landscaping. Not light, we teach them heavy duty if they'll, take it in. Because all of them don't receive it. Some of them are there just for the stipend. And I was kind of easing out of it because I didn't get a good response from my Facebook and YouTube plea, but I don't want to ever be viewed as I'm begging. So I was kind of easing off of it because there are a few people I could go to and probably ask for a donation, right? Just the way it is. But again, we got very little money in response to me petitioning people to help because, and I understand, that's a stretch for some people. And I had said earlier in an earlier video that we're a 501c3. So anything that you donate is tax deductible. Okay, so and that may not mean a lot to a whole lot of people, but anyway, on my job, I really didn't push hard on people because on my job we get a bonus every year. It's not always what I feel, that it should be, but it is what it is. And I had made a pledge this year that a certain portion was going to go towards that $17,000 deficit that I'm looking at. And I've only got like maybe 3.5 weeks to come up with 17,000. And I had made a pledge that when we got our bonuses on the job, that I would give a certain amount to the grass cutting part to make sure that we got started and all that. And I never anticipated. I thought it would be more, but it wasn't. And it was whatever. It was what God wanted us to work with. Okay. But I wanted to make good on my pledge, and I'm telling you, when I looked at the bonus, I was like, God, okay, you kind of cut me out of this deal, okay, But I want to be true to my word. So, in saying that, I know people probably see me on here and I'm asking for money. They and a lot of you probably wonder, well, what do you do for the ministry? Behind the scenes, trust me, when we have shortfalls, it comes out of my pocket. But today, I'll be turning this over to our board, $5,000. That's the heavy end of my bonus. Hate to see it go, but I was at home last weekend because I think I've said it several times on here that I work out of town during the week right now, and I only get home on the weekends. I have Saturday and Sunday, and last Sunday my doorbell rang. I was really trying to chill, and my doorbell rang, and it was it started Saturday. A boy came by and he was asking about cutting my grass, and I told him, I said, well, no, I don't need you to cut my grass because I have a grass cutting ministry. And he said, oh. I said, look, check back with me in a couple of weeks because we'll be taking guys your age, because the guy was about 13, 14 years old. And I told him, I said, we'll be taking guys your age to sign them up for the program, for the summer program. And he said, okay. Well, Sunday, doorbell rang again. There was a kid down the street, and he's grown up now. You know, I've watched this kid grow up, and he came by the house and he was like, hey, Mr. Leonard, are you going to cut grass this year? Because he normally would probably see us outside, my son and I, sharpening blades, taking the ZTRs apart, doing the maintenance and the tune-ups and stuff on them. And he normally would see that. We haven't done it yet, but he wanted to know if we were going to cut grass this year, there's been a couple more. One of the boys that cut last year. Last year was his first year. I think Jordan's about 13, 14, and he cut grass last year, and he learned a lot last year. And he was one of those kids that actually sucked up a lot of information. That kid sucked up a lot of information. And it just blew my mind when his aunt would tell me, hey, you said X, Y, Z, and, Jordan did this, and Jordan did that. He went and got a Bible, and he started studying the Bible, and this and that. So being thankful that, I guess presence does have some type of impact on the young people and the personality. But anyway, Jordan came over to my house. His aunt brought him by, and she had called me and said, hey, Jordan's got something for you. So he came by and he had a weed eater, because I'm real down on that. Hey, I tell the kids all the time, they'll push a mower, but a lot of times they won't push themselves to learn how to weed eat, and all that falls on myself and the people. I pushed them for that. So he had a weed eater in his hand, and he gave me the weed eater. He said, "This is for you." And another reason is I always complain because some of the younger guys who want to, not the 14-year-olds, but some of the guys older than that, 17. They take the weed eaters because they want to show me that they know what they're doing, but a lot of times they don't, and they're abusive to the equipment, and I complain about that. And the cost of it never affects them. And I continue to beat that into them, that some of these weed eaters are costing me $400, $300. And we got to be mindful that these things have to last us, because we don't have that kind of money. We just don't have that kind of money. And he gave me this weed eater. And we had this talk, and I was telling him, I said, hey, Jordan, look, man, you do me more justice if you take this weed eater and before we start cutting, you practice with it, right? And he looked at me, and his auntie did too, and she said, oh, he's got another one. And then he said, yeah, I've been practicing. He said, I know how to use it. And I'm like, man, those are the kind of things that really make my heart warm on the inside when I see, or hear about the impact that we've made as an organization on a young person's life. Man, there's no feeling like it. But again, like I said, tomorrow I'll be turning this money over to He Cares. I was going to joke and say reluctantly, but I really do want to give it to He Cares because, in all honesty, I could use it in other places, in my own personal life, but man, that money will make much more of an impact in that summer program. And also, that still leaves me 12,000 I got to raise. I believe we'll come up with it. Like I said, God, will do His thing. I petition. A lot of times I'm reaching outside and saying, hey, please help, please help, please help. Well, sometimes you have to remember, you're the help. You're the help. God has already provided, made a provision, and you just have to look and see what that provision is. This $5,000 was a provision by God. It's not me, and I'm thankful that He sent it my way, and I'm in a position that I can turn that over, and that we can use it, to benefit the young people. So, again, I'm not going to belabor it. If you if you're interested in making a donation, no matter how big or small, hit me on Facebook. If you have my number, call me. Look at our He Cares page on Facebook. I'm sure that we have a donate button. Our website, Dalia's been working on that. Our website is going to be coming up real soon. We're working real hard on air. We have vapors right now, and I say it for the last time. This is probably going to be the last time you hear me say this, but we've been kind of defunded, and that's okay too. Because God will make a way. God will make a way. If the cupboard's never empty, we can't appreciate it when it's full. So, we're going to keep on doing what we're doing. And pray that God will bless us. Hey, look, y'all have a great evening. It's morning now. It's about 1 o'clock in the morning. But y'all have a great day. And, I'll be back at you because I've got a couple videos I'm going to push out this weekend. And hopefully the information will be beneficial to somebody. Talk to you later.